Hey everybody, welcome to Court Addict with ATX Alli.
Hey everybody, welcome in.
We got Nan first of all. She hit it first.
Nan is super fast.
Well, ever since she got that wrench, she's just moving quicker.
I know.
We got even Linus is here for a little while tonight. She's a slacker.
Till she
This should,
falls asleep.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. This is like, I don't know. I think it's Thursday in Netherlands area.
Yeah.
So I don't remember how far off it is, but thank you everybody for coming over here. We've got some interesting stuff over. Judge Fleischer today had an odd day, and so we're going to have a conversation about it, but we're going to be super respectful because
Yes.
I really feel for the judge on this one because it's a horribly difficult conversation to have, but I think it was an important conversation to have. Hold on a second. I literally I deleted Tiff as a moderator. I accidentally did it on the other channel. So let me fix it on this channel. She said she wasn't having it. She sent me a message loud and clear for everybody. She wanted a wrench. So
No, Tiff, I hope she hasn't been feeling good lately. Hopefully you feel better. Get some rest. Take care of you, sweetie. I know you've had a rough couple of days or weeks or all of the above. So please take care of you. I want you to rest up and feel better.
absolutely. And in the end, this is always just this is education, but it's kind of entertainment too. So we're here to learn. We're here to learn and to figure some of this stuff out, and be entertained while doing it. The ones like that, the last one with that young lady in Judge Webster's court.
Mm-hmm.
You got to read the room. If you're not getting along with the judge, just shut your mouth. And
I just think people don't necessarily know how to act in court. I think that's one of the reasons everybody says in every court chat there is that we need to teach kids how to act in court because they don't know and they get in there and they think they can have attitudes. Just like every body cam video we see is with somebody giving attitude to a cop when they don't have to. If you're just nice to them, your life moves a lot easier. But when you give them attitude and you complicate everything, that's when things tend to go downhill real fast. And I don't know why people don't know that. It seems very common sense, but I guess a class needs to be taught on it.
yeah, and we see it in the comments. We see good people making the dumbest dang comments. And, it literally just comes down to, you may be in your living room, but this ain't your living room.
Exactly.
And so it is what it is. So we're going to watch Judge Fleischer. We're going to be real respectful and think about what's going on with it and have a good discussion with it. I looked for earlier in the morning when the guy went through, and it looked like he literally just walked through and went over to the jury box. So I didn't see him come through. I didn't see an arraignment or anything. I didn't see him talk to the judge. It looked like he talked to Victoria or someone over at a podium and then went to go take a drug test. And this is the results of whenever he came back from the drug test. So this is an odd one. We're going to jump to it. And Donald, you can come out from underneath the stairs, but just leave Gina alone. That's my buddy there. I don't know if she's about the feet pictures. So
funny.
Let's go to Judge Fleischer.
All right.
Thanks, Connor. Gosh. Hey.
How you doing today?
What's up?
Ian Tyrell.
Is he even here?
Sent him for a drug test.
What happened?
Judge, I'm having a problem.
He took off?
No, he said his dad. I've been in touch with his father. He's saying that he's not coming back upstairs. They're telling me that they didn't take his.
We sent him a court order. Hey, Vic.
I don't know what happened over there, but
what happened with Terrell?
Check to see.
Terrell? We sent him to get tested on email and pre-trial feedback.
He's saying they're not taking his.
We sent the court order so that he could do it. So he should be. He went there originally and they didn't take him because they didn't have a court order, but we sent an email about 3 hours ago pretrial to get
Now
the
his
order
father
done.
is saying he's not feeling good. He's threatening suicide, all this kind of stuff, and he doesn't want to come back upstairs. That's what they're texting.
All I want is
I
a
have to
drug
wait all this
test.
time.
You can always zoom in if you need to, but
Can I roll him till tomorrow to figure out what's going on?
no,
If it's
I
a
want him
safety
to
or-
go take a drug test right now. I want to know what's in his system. If he doesn't take the drug test, I'm going to revoke his bond. I've had way too many issues with Mr. Terrell.
And this is the guy who was in rehab. Remember, I showed you the proof that he was in rehab. Now he's an IOP. Now, I understand he needs.
Sent him for a drug test this morning for a reason.
We both, Judge, we both know that he needs help. That's not in question. But it's just how to manage him and how to control the situation. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Doesn't do anything. He just keeps using. That's the problem. And we try to
What do
get
you recommend?
first thing first. We would have to get a TRAS done to see what the recommendation would be. But I need to know what's in his system, and that's why we sent him for the drug test now.
I emailed them. I know they're in the building, so that's fine.
Where is our pretrial person?
Well, because of the trial, she went with Jessica.
Give me a second, Yasha.
I have like 100 text messages from the father.
I'm gonna jump in there real quick. So after knowing what happens, isn't that more interesting to hear him say, "I had over 100 texts from the father"?
Yeah. I vaguely remember this because I don't really get to pay much attention to Judge Fleischer, so that's why I kind of like watching him again with you, because I get to really pay attention. I vaguely remember what happened, so I'm really super interested in what's going on.
You can do like I do and just turn off the chat and just enjoy.
Yeah, that's kind of not the job though.
Oh, oops, I'm gonna mess up. So anyways, he's the kid not wanting to go take a drug test, or I apologize, not kid. This defendant, this grown adult, doesn't want to take a drug test, and so Judge Fleischer's saying he's going to revoke him if he doesn't take the drug test, and the lawyers trying to figure out what's going on, and so
he's threatening suicide downstairs, that he doesn't want to take it and everything. How old is this guy?
if I had to guess,
Can't be that old.
If I had to guess, 12.
Okay, that tracks.
No, he's probably 20. He's probably in his 20s, but he's there. You have a good night. Good night, Roland G. We'll see you next time.
Here we go, Judge.
You made it. We need to find out what's going on with Terrell.
Oh, that's the reason I came, Judge. So whenever he was submitting his drug test, the text on it was fake genitalia, and he told him to take it off. He didn't, and then he left.
There you go. He needs to come here. He needs to come right back to court.
Well, yes, but after he knew that, but after that.
So did he take off?
Come back.
You see what you hear?
What does that mean?
He had a fake penis that shoots out urine and keeps it hot so that it looks like it's he had fake genitalia.
Never heard of that one before, Judge. But
No, we hear it all here. They have all kinds of stuff here. So that's what's going on. So
what do you
he has-
recommend, Judge? I'm here
he has
not
to
to
come-
delay anything or being an
Ask-
obstacle or anything like that, but I'm just trying to help the situation and his situation,
Number one, he has to come back here. Number two, you need to let him know that it's very possible they file new charges on him for trying to falsify drug tests, because it's a Class B misdemeanor, just like everything else he has, and
What should we do with him right now?
he has to come back to court,
Okay, if not, then
booking his bond.
you can't roll until tomorrow,
No,
so I'll be here.
No, he's
No,
he's
he already
keeping us.
said that.
Yasha,
I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I mean, all this is short notice, Judge.
he has to come here. Bottom line.
I'll let him know.
Let him know. I have another at least half hour here. If he's not here by 12:45, I'm revoking his bond. Let him know.
And
That's
If he does, can you let me know so I can zoom in, Judge?
Yeah, zoom in. I mean, I think I have your cell phone. If he shows up, I'll text you. Let me make sure I have your phone. The 630,
Yes.
I'll text you. If he shows up, let him know he's got to be here.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Boy, weren't the comments going crazy then?
Yeah.
Yasha, look it up. Come up, Mom.
So I did look it up. Pause it for a second.
Yeah.
I did look it up. Somebody was saying earlier in chat that they had seen it like in the it was at least $100. I want to say it was 170, but I may have seen that incorrectly. I looked on Amazon and you can get them for cheap. Like they have them like starting like $20. They've got lots of different devices you can choose from. So yeah, I knew that it existed. I didn't know there was the plethora of options that Amazon has to offer. I don't know why that surprises me. It doesn't surprise me, but yeah.
I work in a lot of paper mills and we hire people, and some of these paper mills you get random drug tests at any point while you're at work. And so there's a local convenience store that sells, I don't know if they sell the part. I don't know if they sell, for the looks, but they certainly sell the liquid. And it's amazing how thorough they have to be with the drug test to get past some of these things. I would rather just never do drugs than have someone else's urine on me.
Yeah, and well, they also sell the fake stuff, or the stuff that you can like pour into water and then it mixes and then it creates fake urine, and then you've got to keep it warm with the heating pad. Or there's a lot of crazy things that people have invented to try to get around drug tests, and there are even smarter people that have figured out how to get around those that are trying to get around the drug test. So yeah, just don't do drugs, or just take the test and take the loss. Like the gig's up.
That's funny. Big Tiff saying you need to burn your browser by the time it's over with.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. It's crazy. My parents are big time weed smokers and always have been, and I know they used to swear by the little kits that you get or the masks that you drink. You can drink something and then it's supposed to mask whatever it is, and I don't know. I've never had that problem, or well, I did, but I was never in a position where I had to constantly drug test. So, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely crazy.
All right, we'll jump back into it. Linus, I did see that message on Discord, so thank you for that.
I'm so happy that you're here. I'm really happy that you're here.
Yeah, he showed up.
It's far beyond that.
Hello, Judge.
Hey, I've got Mr. Terrell in front of me now.
Okay, I'm driving. Let me pull over, Judge, and I can zoom in.
Please.
Okay, I'll zoom in shortly, okay?
Okay. Do you need the link? You got it?
It's funny, Alli, the judge calls him out a few times for looking high while he's standing there.
It's possible.
Yeah, I got it. I'll shortly. I'll let you know if there's a problem.
Mr. Terrell, take a seat for me in the jury box, please. Give me just a couple minutes. I'm going to have the lawyer zoom in so you're not here alone. Just because I don't know how long it'll take. I'll call you right up. You are
His parents, William Tyrell. His dad.
It's Kimby.
Sorry.
Kimby showed
And
up.
this is his mom.
Yay!
Hey, Kimby.
Are you familiar with what he did today?
We're familiar with what they said. We don't agree that that's right. We also agree that he's being held accountable for things that aren't really applicable in this case. You know, and
That's the dad,
I'm
right?
asking him not to use drugs or alcohol.
I know.
That's all I'm asking him to do. And he's constantly testing positive, and now he's taking a Whizzinator into the room.
Well,
That's wrong.
it's wrong. And we don't
He
want.
can be charged criminally for that. That's an offense in and of itself. Falsifying a drug test, it's a Class B misdemeanor. You're facing another 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine.
What about?
I'm surprised he's not
our
revoking his
concern
bond
and his
right
concern
now.
is simple. This girl.
I'm not,
I know.
no,
Sir.
we're not talking about the case. We're
This is
talking,
what is the case?
no, we're talking about the ability to remain clean and sober, first and foremost. We're not even talking about the case at this point. We're only talking about remaining clean and sober. He's repeatedly been unable to do that. And now he's trying to fool us.
So he has an issue that we know.
May I
You
say
know.
something, Ron?
Well,
Okay.
I think what needs to happen is I think the first thing you need to do is you need to talk to your lawyer before you make any statements.
Yes, sir.
The only thing I'm going to say is that I'm extremely upset, disappointed, and taking you into custody. You know, you've repeatedly failed to appear for court. You've repeatedly tested positive for a lot of substances, and now you're trying to fool us yet again. It's unacceptable. And there has to be accountability. And you need to accept that you can't continue to do what you're doing. Mr. Terrell, you're digging yourself into a hole that you cannot crawl out of. This monkey on your back will be there for the rest of your life. And if you don't get out of it now, you're going to be 70 years old with the continual on your back, in and out of custody. You're so messed up right now, you can barely open your eyes, man.
Your Honor.
And I don't know if you're enabling it or you're closing your eyes because of the love that you have as a father. But-
He has severe ADHD and severe Tourette's syndrome. And we put him in a recovery center and we told them, we sent him the documentation. They told us every day they were getting the medication they ever did. Never did, until they finally refused to answer my phone calls because I kept calling him up what he needs to be on. I said, this ADHD medicine robs him of his chemicals and his dopamine chemicals in his brain. And he goes, he uses drugs to put them back. And I said, the Tourette's makes him not make good decisions. It's not a good combination. And they said, yes, that's the case in almost many drug addicts with ADHD, and they wouldn't fix it, right? And so I got pretty upset with him because he got out and he had a pill bottle that he got the day he got out. They had never given him any pills the entire time he was there for these things. So I agree that it's a bad problem and a wrong problem, but I also agree it's not entirely his fault because he's got a chemical imbalance that nobody is addressing. And never has. He's had this since he was
Thank you,
a
Vicky.
young child. They've addressed his Tourette's, but they've never
Thank you,
addressed the
Vicky.
ADHD. And I didn't know until I spoke to a doctor a week ago, or a couple of weeks ago, before he went into the rehab. And the doctor said, they said, so he's got ADHD. And I said, yeah. And he says, does he have a problem with drugs? And I said, yeah. And he goes, why isn't he on Ritalin? And I go, what do you mean? He says, that's what Ritalin is for. And if he was speaking apparently from personal experience, so we tried to get him on Ritalin. They wouldn't do that because it's a substance itself. And they said that he could be abusing that substance. So we tried to get him on a secondary substance that's not abusive. We have fought for weeks, months, and we can't. We finally got him a prescription just as he's now out and back in trouble. So I only beg that we don't want him on drugs. Right, but we understand that maybe there's some underlying compassionate issues, right? And I mean, personally, I'd like to be this again, but that doesn't work.
And it pains me because I think that as a father and as a mother, due to love, a lot of times, and I don't know necessarily you, but people tend to kind of shut their eyes.
No.
And become naive to the fact that they're using, and I'm not talking about marijuana. I'm talking about cocaine. I'm talking about meth.
Be careless. He's got a license for marijuana.
So regardless,
any heavy drugs, the cocaine or anything that's going to cause him a lifelong problem, no. I want him off of that stuff. But he's been in rehab 3 or 4 times, that doesn't really work. So I don't know what does work.
You gotta want it.
You gotta want
One of
it.
the main things is you gotta want it. But be that as it may, he's trying to fool us, and it's unacceptable. And there has to be accountability for it. I can't just let him go when you're using a Wizinator to try to fool us. It's unacceptable, and there has to be accountability. And the problem is that I think that what we need to do now is have him evaluated by our clinicians to see how we go forward. So what I'd like to do is, while he's in custody now, I can have it done in a very expedited manner. I can have it done within, today's what, Tuesday? We can hopefully have a report back by Friday to see, at the latest Monday, to see how we go forward. Our clinicians can talk to him, and if he's honest, figure a way to go about doing this. And I'm going to tell you now, while I have him here, I can pay everything for you, so you don't have to pay for a dime. If you're on the outside, though, I can't pay for it.
We can forward you doctor's records and things like that.
My only concern and the only thing I want now is our clinicians to be able to speak to him to see where we go forward. Mr. Terrell, I'm going to have you what's called TRAS to see, it's an evaluation to see where we go from here. If we get this TRAS back and it tells me that your little bunny's jumping in the woods and that there's no problems, then I know that you weren't honest, and I'm going to make you go do it right back again. And we're going to continue to do it until you're honest. But, you can lie to me, but you can't lie to yourself. You can't be like this forever. At some point.
I'm going to go ahead and hit pause on it so we can get into the show or what we're doing. Jay Baker's there talking about dad as a character witness trying to help his son. That's love right there, folks. I don't know. My son, I couldn't do that for my son. And I know my son, certainly needed that, but I felt like it was hurting him. I there was never a part of time where I feel like helping cover for that would be worth it.
Right, but his point is that you can see that this guy loves his son, even if he's doing it not necessarily the right way. You can see that he absolutely does love his son, and I think that is half the battle. There's some parents that aren't gonna show up or won't be in their lives, so the fact that he loves his son so much is heartening, because that's gonna help this kid go a long way. Just gotta get the dad on the right track, and I think the son will follow, because the dad will help each other.
Well,
but
and see, none of us have the education that's needed in a situation like that. None of us, if you have been on drugs and you're recovering, you're looking at it from a whole different perspective from someone who's never been on drugs, and none of them, is the right perspective. It's all just a different version of the perspective on it. And I kind of feel like in this case, the lawyer and the defendant should have sided up quickly, and that the lawyer should, go, just go into I guess you should just say a huddle and start throwing those defenses. The dad throwing those defenses is no good. It should have been the lawyer throwing all those defenses.
Yeah. It does seem like the dad is coming in there and trying to defend why he's using, and I get that he just doesn't want him to get into bigger trouble, but he's gotta obey his bond conditions. If the Ritalin isn't working and weed is the better option for his Tourette's, then a doctor needs to prescribe that. I mean, that's just the way it's got to be. When you're dealing with probation and breaking the law, you got to be on the straight and narrow with everything. That's just it. Is that your choice is that or sit in jail, and that's way worse.
Yeah,
so.
and Drunk Beaver had a good thing. Is the dad just doesn't want to make sure his son doesn't get swallowed up by the system. And look, even though as much as I respect Judge Fleischer, I don't trust the system in general. Judge Fleischer, how many people a day does he have to run through? He can't. He can't take he does take everyone one-on-one, but he can't take nearly the time it takes to deal with the person. Just like a public defender. A public defender has so many cases that they can never spend the time to really truly get to know each of their clients.
Right. The other thing is, why are the parents? I mean, I love Judge Fleischer likes to get the parents involved, and that usually helps with making sure that the kids stay out of trouble. But really, this kid isn't a kid. Like, he is an adult. And at some point, he needs to man up. Like, if he's 20 or, not 18, like,
Yeah. I think Linus was saying 22, and
yeah, even 22, you definitely need to be out the nest by 22. So they need to get him with some legs under him. Kick him
right.
out,
No,
not kick him
absolutely.
out, but
And I think that helped my son. I think it helped my son to have to stand up and have to talk with the judge, have to,
Mhm.
have to hold his own. We were there
Right.
to support him, but he had to support his own. He had to make his own choices because, while we were pushing, hey, this rehab or that rehab, he was looking at us saying, 5 years in prison ain't that bad.
Yeah. Another thing is if this kid is just smoking weed to replace his Ritalin, then why didn't he just test and say that? I think he's hiding extra drug use from his dad.
Yeah.
Like, I think he comes up positive for cocaine or something too. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's going through lots of trouble to get away with this, even from his dad. So
Yeah, but it just seems, if the lawyer and him would have huddled up from the beginning and, he were to list out, hey, this is how messed up I am, this is all my ailments, this is all my stuff, that the lawyer would be able to attack each one of them. And, hey, he's on this because of this, and here's where it's approved. He's on this because of this, and here's where it's approved. And at least be able to present that to the judge before he just fails the drug test.
Yeah, it seems like, I don't know why they didn't do that, because it seems like they were there all together at the courthouse. I think that's another thing. I think the kid was there with his dad and wouldn't tell the lawyer, I'm gonna come up dirty. And I don't want to do a drug test. I'm gonna kill myself because my dad's gonna be mad at me. Like, I think honestly, he's mad. He's worried about disappointing his dad.
Well, and that happens too. I have to look at my kids, and I've got such high goals for them. You almost have higher goals than your kids could ever achieve, and then they skyrocket past them in other ways, and so you have to just look at perspective. But Ritallin's a nasty thing sometimes. It's a bad thing sometimes, and if he's got this says he has Tourette's, he's got enough challenges on his own. I think the biggest thing with the judge is the deception. I've never seen Judge Fleischer just attack someone and just be mean to someone.
No, never.
But this guy here has never met Judge Fleischer. He doesn't know the system, and everything you see on the system just tells you how bad the system is.
Right. He has no idea that this guy is actually here to help. He just sees him as someone who might want to throw his son in jail.
Absolutely. Because you see it all the time. Jail. Yeah. They've never shut down a jail because they stopped putting people up. They keep building and building and building.
Right.
And so
let's finish it up.
But anyways, hey everybody, Linus is trying to get to Houston. She wants to come on November 8th. She's got to take it here. She's gonna have fun. Linus is advocating for Ritalin. She needs to come over here to help sell it. But I don't. It seems like whenever I was a kid back in the 80s and 90s, everyone was on Ritalin. I don't hear much.
I was never. Anymore. Everybody was on, but that's an old school drug. Everybody's on Adderall anymore, which is just amphetamines. That's all it is. Like, literally, you pick it up from Walgreens and it says on your prescription bottle, amphetamine salts. That's what Adderall is. That's what everybody's on now.
Well, good thing Walmart's open.
Yeah.
I think Walmart's about the only pharmacy left around where I'm at.
We have a few CVS's, but pretty much, you go to Walmart, Walgreens. We still got Walgreens, and everybody fills their prescriptions at like Costco or Sam's Club or Target.
So Gina's using a word I've never seen before. Focalin.
I don't. Focalin. I don't know what that is. I have not.
I've never heard of it either. So I don't know.
Huh, interesting.
Yep. Absolutely. So, yeah. So Linus, whenever you're coming over here, if you're on any medicines, you need to make sure you get cleared for any of that.
Yeah, controlled stuff. Some of it might be controlled over here. So
right, it's nobody's business what you're on, but make sure TSA, it's their business. They want to know what you're on. So, all right, we're going to jump back in this, but the dad, I get it that the dad's wanting to protect his son. If I could have blown a hole in the side of the jail to get my son out, I would have. But the way the deception is not going to be the way you do it. It's just the kid's in trouble. Spend a lot of money. Yeah, that word I spelled, that Focalin, is a stimulant according to Google. Thank you, Blue Stripe dude.
Yeah, so that makes sense that they would give it as for ADHD, because stimulants with people with ADHD, it doesn't act as a stimulant. It acts almost like as a depressant, and it calms them down. Whereas when you give it to people who don't have ADHD, that's why they get super hyper when you give them Adderall, or in this case, Focalin, or Ritalin. That's why you get all super jittery and hyper, and people get addicted to it when they don't need it. So.
Hey, so just think of what that lawyer's dealing with. He just pulled over the side of the road and he's having to hear this.
Right.
You can just tell he's just about to fall apart.
Yep.
So, all right, here we're gonna go.
You're going to be a habitual, and you're looking at 25 to life.
I forgot what it is. Thank you for your patience, but
You don't have to, and I'm really truly sorry.
he did man up and come in. He wasn't going to. We had to fight with him and beg with him. He didn't
to come in.
He didn't want to.
Of course, no one wants to go to jail.
And because he said, I said, he's not going to put you in jail. He goes, yes, he will. And I said, no, he has a heart. He's not going to put you in jail. He knows that you have a problem. The problem is the issue, stopping the thing that's causing this is the issue.
Your last name, Mr. Terrell?
Yes.
We've tried that. I gave him to you.
But he didn't, we tried it, but like I said, the underlying cause, which we've only just recently found, or found that they've never treated.
I understand.
And
I
so
understand.
he's untreated and still being treated like it's a normal case, and it's not really.
I tried. I've given him back to you guys. I've asked him repeatedly to stay sober and not use, and he continues to do so. No matter how many times I give him to you, it's going to continue, and you have to realize it. And if you think that just him saying, okay, I'm going to stop, or the Ritalin is going to make it stop.
It has for many people.
It may have. And yes, it may have.
So how long are you putting him in for?
I don't know. For now, I would like to have him TRAS to see where they go. My feeling is that they're probably going to say that he needs inpatient rehab.
He's already been to.
Not in the jail.
Yes, he has. You sentenced him to that last year. WIMAC. We didn't put him in WIMAC. Did we do WIMAC with him?
But they never actually treated his symptoms either.
So we have other, if WIMAC didn't work, we have other facilities that we can go to. And we've got at least 3 to 4 different facilities, and we can continue to put them into each facility until it takes.
He has this felony case that this case is associated with this next week. Yeah. Of which
So
we're
will they
hoping,
release
we're hoping gets thrown out of court.
They have also facilities as well to help treat as well. We both do, and we both have facilities. They have more resources than we do because there are more serious cases up there, so they have quite a bit of more resources.
It does look like he went to WIMAC, but that's mainly to address like this criminal attitudes and thinking. Now
It was for drugs because he was on probation for drugs. That's why he was.
No. What she's saying is that
the program that he went to was supposed to address like this thinking, attitudes and things. So now we're gonna assess him now that we know that he has mental health issues and as well as substance use problems.
It went last time because of substance abuse. That was what the story.
no, but she's saying no.
She said no, but this time.
Okay.
Well, I think, Judge, they might be referring to the deferred was adjudicated based off of drug violations. He tested positive for many times for drugs. That's why his guilt was adjudicated in that case in this court. I think that may be what they're referring to.
Yeah, it was because he was on probation for drugs. And they actually, put him in there, and then when he came, he couldn't even get his lawyer when he came to court. He got a court-appointed lawyer when he had a lawyer, it was paid for. And twice. And it's very frustrating to us that he doesn't seem to be getting fair treatment. It seems like he's being held as an example and be given as an example and not being given fair treatment. And
How is he not being given fair treatment?
well,
Tell me.
I just really wanted, my wife is not going to be happy if I.
Well, no, but it seems like you're blaming me for the situation, you know?
No, sir. What we're trying to say that he never got an assessment for the mental issue.
And they were told over and over again. I wrote
They.
the court officials, the probation officers, everyone was told that he had these issues and problems. They did nothing about it. Okay, his attorney brought paperwork to the court, Mike Monk.
Yeah, just we gave him the paperwork with all the.
Nobody did anything about it. So we keep
So-
going, you guys keep blaming this stuff, but you just keep holding him up as an example and punishing him, and we never try to find out what's the problem.
Put people in jail when they violate conditions, when they do something against the law. We don't willy-nilly put people in jail for S and giggles. We don't do that here.
So why is
If
there?
someone has a true problem, then we give them the opportunity to try to do things on their own. When it becomes evident that they're unable to, that's when we try to step in. I don't do this out of hate.
Outside of he, we know that he has a problem, but outside of that, like he has a felony charge, they aren't giving these bond requirements. And this misdemeanor court is giving these bond requirements, when the felony court is not. So.
Can't tell you what the felony court, I want to make sure that he's not using alcohol or drugs.
It has nothing to do with this case.
How do you know that?
Judge, there are facts in this case that do indicate that there were crack pipes recovered from the defendant. And that's most likely
Yeah.
why.
How do you know that he's charged?
Was that you that said yeah?
Yeah, like I just don't understand how the dad, like, we just need to get the drug test out of the way, and then I think judge will be able to say to the dad, this is why I'm going to revoke his bond, not because of any other reason other than he's continuing to actively use drugs, like real drugs, not weed or this and that, but there's crack pipes. Like, come on. Sorry. That's
Yeah,
no
and it's an assault case. It's an assault case, I believe that he's there for, and
Victoria.
they talk about it. He and somebody, like someone put a machete to someone's neck, and just in the end it sounded like boyfriend and girlfriend issues, and people acting up there. Hey, Victoria.
Come on, Dad.
Victoria's in the room.
I saw that.
We got to be nice now.
Yeah, I gotta stop talking bad about her at least.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, let's go in here. She was so happy to describe that tool.
Oh yeah, the Wizinator. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
we're talking about, Victoria. We're watching that case with the Wizinator. You look
Yeah,
that up. Are you gonna get flagged by HR for looking that up at your desk? That's what I want to know.
Yep. All right, let's go.
With a felony assault, he's charged with interference with emergency request for assistance. How do you know that the drugs and alcohol that are using did not impact this?
Because he was sound asleep. All right, and she stuck a machete through his TV.
Not the
Okay, I know, we're not supposed to talk about it. I apologize.
Look.
It just feels very wrong.
I know that you see through the eyes of a loving father, and I'm not going to fault you for that. I get it, and I understand that, and I'm sorry. I really am. But I think that the best thing for him now is in a facility that he doesn't have access to drugs or alcohol. And I'm trying to do my best to keep him clean and sober. He tried to fool us now by using a Wizinator.
This is why he didn't want to come in here. He would rather be run, that's why he didn't want to come back.
Okay, and you can't run forever, Mr. Terrell.
I know. I tell, but.
So it's better to man up and get it done now than to run forever and do some irreparable damage by taking something that you kill yourself, right? Because that's invariably what's going to happen. The dope that you're using, you're going to kill yourself.
Mm-hmm.
He can barely open his eyes, man. This
Boy, I'm listening to everything you're saying, sir.
you're so high right now, you
I'm
can
not
barely
high,
open your eyes.
I'm not high at all. Actually,
So-
I'm sober. So, I mean, you can. At this point, I'm already in handcuffs, so it really doesn't fucking matter what I say.
No, he's not. I know we've been with him for
Problem
2
is,
days.
and I'm gonna
So-
ask you, just bear with me. I'm trying to do the best I can to keep him clean and sober so he doesn't pick up new cases.
You haven't revoked his bond, is what he's asking.
Yes, I'm revoking his bond. I'm setting it at 20,004 right now. You know, but if you bond him out, that's your choice. But I'm gonna continue with the same things that I'm doing. And I'm now gonna have him come twice a week to test with me. And the next time he tests positive, and I don't care what it is, the bond is gonna end up even higher than it is. And at some point, we're going to address the issue.
Trying to teach
But
him.
I'm not gonna continue to let you use drugs while you're out there in the free world. That's it. Huh? Yeah. Well, the first thing we have to do is we have to evaluate to see which one is the best one. You know, they have mental health caseloads. They have the first thing that needs to happen is we have to have him evaluate, speak to a clinician. They can tell us which the best path to go forward. They may say he needs intensive outpatient treatment. They may say he needs SATF, which is an inpatient facility. I don't know until we have him evaluated. But understand, I like your son. I want the best for him. I really truly, and he doesn't get it.
No, because we watched on TikTok him being in front of your court, you know, and we're going, what the heck is that doing on TikTok, you know?
I live stream all our proceedings, and that's what we do. So adds transparency. So
I'm gonna have to excuse myself.
Please do.
I always love that threat. I'm gonna have to excuse myself. That's when
Yeah,
you
I remember this part, and he like leaves like he's so offended at all this, and I was just like I was done at that point. I was like, whatever, dude. Like he's so in the wrong. Like his kid is sitting there, and he's making excuses for him that don't make any sense. Obviously, the kid has a massive drug problem. We're not talking about weed. We're talking about like crack, things that you don't use for medicinal purposes. And he's got a massive attitude problem. He's using an illegal device to take the test and completely ignoring the fact that that in itself is a crime. Like, and it's just thinking like, oh, this is unfair for my son and he's now going to end up on TikTok. Well, the body cam footage of him acting a fool could end up on TikTok too. Like, these are the consequences of your actions. Like,
Yeah,
it sucks to be you, but you got to learn, kid. Sorry.
he'd have probably gotten less trouble if he did a failure to appear.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
that, yeah, then he'd be running, and then his bond would be a lot higher than 20,000. And
no,
what would be the point of that?
No, I'll be honest with you. I think he'd be in less trouble if he just disappeared and stopped taking drug tests and just did his own thing, and a couple years later got picked up down the road for something else, and they just resolved everything. I'm not encouraging
That's
that.
no way to live. That's no way to live,
No.
though. Like
No,
living
no,
on the
no,
run is no way to live.
No,
It
but
really
what he's
isn't.
doing now, where he's having the threat to hurt himself because he doesn't want to go upstairs.
Mhm.
I'm just saying they're all a mess. And Idaho's got a good point here. The dad's drug is control. The dad's the dad's
Or
trying to
denial.
run the show there.
Either control or denial. And Kimby had a great point. These parents need to go to Al-Anon because there's a lot they need to learn about their son's addiction. Because right now, I just feel like they've got blinders on. And
I mentioned that before. That one time we'd called about my son had run away from the rehab, and him leaving equaled jail. It wasn't like he just left and we're just sad. It was a custody issue. And so we called to say, hey, what do we need to do if he shows up at our doorstep? What do we, what process do we need to follow? Because we wanted him to get better. We didn't, I'm not trying to turn him in, but we want him to get better, and we want him to get through this. And we can't get through it until he, resolves the legal issues. And they told us, they were trying to tell us we need to go to Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous. And I'm explaining to him, like, look, we're not the ones with the drug problems. It's our kid. And
Yeah.
and they never bothered to tell us that it was beneficial to parents as well. So we had to,
Right.
we learned that later, but it was a mess. And now, now we're doing good. Now things are great, but as well as anybody, it's a battle for every hour, a battle for every day.
Absolutely. I mean, there's been times when I'm laying in bed in withdrawals, like knowing that my dealer's on his way, just thinking if I can do anything for an hour, I can do anything for an hour. I can just live this hour. And I would like watch the minutes tick by. And that's actually something that has given me a lot of strength now that I'm sober. Like I draw off of that a lot. Like I just think to myself, shit, I used to lay in like the horrible fetal positions and cold sweats and vomit withdrawals for hours on end. I can handle this. This is no problem. So it's actually made me stronger in a weird way.
Damn, you're a mess.
I know I was.
You were.
I was. I'm not as messy now.
Absolutely.
I'm a cleaner messy. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see if we can figure out. But you see the way he's looking at his dad right there?
Yeah.
That to me is almost a power play all in itself. That's almost a, hey, Dad, what are you going to do to get me out of this?
Yeah. Or like, Dad, you're just going to leave because he's about to storm off right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I do that too. Like even now, like I said, my kid's 8 months clean, but I can't be too much of an ass to him or around him because I don't want to trigger him. I don't want to set him off on something. And then and then my arrogance starts to hit me. I was like, no, that he's not going to dictate how I act just because I'm scared he's going to react bad. And so
that was a big fear of my husband when I moved my family in, because the family dynamic's always going to be, there's always going to be drama in, parents living with children and vice versa. So he was worried about that too. He was like, I don't want you to get so stressed out that you relapse. And I'm just like, my head doesn't even go there. Like there's been very few times I'm ever like, oh my God, I'm so stressed out. I even think about using. The only time I thought about using since I've been clean was after I was tapering off of methadone and I got down to 6 milligrams and I was like, I think I can stop. And I stopped taking it. And that night we got into a really horrific car accident. And I was laid up in bed for a full week recovering from the car accident. And that full week that was the first time I had ever gone without methadone. And I think I started withdrawing because I tapered off too fast and I jumped off from too high of a dose. And I was itching really bad. And I was like, I feel like I'm about to use. And I told my husband, I was like, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know if it's the pain from the car accident or withdrawing or combination of all of the above, but I need to go back to the clinic. And he was like, all right, if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. So I went back to the clinic and they put me back on a low dose. And so I'm doing a slower taper now, but that's the only time I've ever felt the need to withdraw. So that's really good for me, at least. So Victoria. Oh my God, you kill me, lady.
Yep, you gotta love Victoria. Hey everybody, Victoria put the link up for Linus's trip. She I think she wins best comment today with that one.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Yep. So we're gonna jump back into it, but this dad and Drunk Beaver had made the comment about, yep, it's going to be up on YouTube before the day's over. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that guy played the same game with me and my son plays. In other words, am I not going to do it just because he said, that I'm going to do it? And I thought about it for a little while and I was like, well, we're going to do it from an educational point of view. But it is educational to see that. And I think the guy's an ass for, making the comment about, well, the judge ain't going to put you in jail because he's got a heart.
Right.
In other words, he was trying to play the same game with me as he was trying to play with the judge, like, oh, I'm going to bring it up so you can't do it. And I'm like, no, I've dealt with that kid for too many years. He's not going to play me like that.
Yep.
And so,
I played that game. I
no,
know how this
absolutely.
goes.
And my kid does. I'm just, he's the best kid ever. But whenever he wants to get in trouble, like we'll take, whenever he was 10, 11, 12 years old, hey, you're not going to be able to play this guitar. You're not going to be able to do this. Well, I don't want to play guitar anymore anyways. and he knows it would just break our heart because, we love watching him play guitar. We love listening to him. It was everything to us.
Right.
And so, but you couldn't punish him if you like, oh, we're going to take away the game thing. Well, I don't want to play games anyways. And so, but he just learned how to deal with that. And, you grow up learning how to manipulate things like that.
Yep.
So let's go and see if this defense attorney gets anywhere today.
All right.
I'm not helping, I know.
Look, you're not making us mad, and I understand how you feel, and I get the loving father. I would be in the same position as you, but I want to keep him clean and sober. That's the bottom line. I've tried to do it the other way. It's not happening, and he's fooling us. So the only recourse I have is this. So if we can set it to your ASAP, hopefully we can have the report back by Friday, at the latest Monday. They will tell us which is the correct course to go, and then we can all sit and talk and decide what to do. At the end of the day, if you want me to just do nothing and
I'd rather you help him.
if you want me to let him go and just fend for himself, then it's on you. But know this is that what you guys are doing now, it's not working. He's slowly killing himself, as evidenced by his demeanor, the way he looks. He's killing himself slowly. And before long, he's going to really deteriorate. I've seen it happen all too much. All right.
And Judge, before we end this conversation with this defendant, I've spoken at pretrial about the records that they have about the defendant and what he did today. I'd like to obtain those records and get those provided to defense counsel as well, and provide that to felony. They're willing to provide that to me upon your oral consent to that. Okay. Pretrial, did you hear that? Okay, great. Thank you, Judge.
So get him in more trouble.
No one's in more trouble. Do you not see what I'm trying to do? If we wanted to put him in more trouble, we charge him with additional offenses.
Isn't that what he's trying to do?
No. We're not here to punish and enslave and to kill. We're here to help. And sometimes that may require this. Out there, it's not working.
Do I have your word that it's not going to come back?
No, but I don't make the charging decisions. I'm not going to give you any kind of word. I'm going to give you my word that I'm going to try to help him as much as I can. But I need your help with that as well. Look, I don't want to have any discussions until he with the case, with anything as well. Hold on a second. Hold on. Wait a second. Hold on. Just about giving the records to Mr. Haddad. Hold on a second. Until he talks to his lawyer, we shouldn't talk about the case at all. My only concern now is being clean and sober. That's my only concern at this point. Okay? So we're going to take him back. We'll have him TRAS as soon as possible. We can set it for Friday. Hopefully we can have the records back by then as far as what the thing is. And we'll go from there. Okay?
Judge,
Yasha.
yeah,
What do you got?
when can I come back to follow up on this matter? Can I come back tomorrow?
When can we have him TRAS?
Monday, because he has to be processed today.
Wait.
I can see if somebody can come with a holdover.
They do a little bit of scheduling here. So he had made a comment about, the prosecutor wanting to, obtain that information. And one of the things.
Yeah, like this. Like the son didn't get them in this situation. He's like, oh, he's going to charge him with that too. Well, yeah, he did it. Like, don't get mad at them for shit he did. Okay, that's
and I'm not even sure they're gonna. I'm not even sure they're gonna charge him with it, but they're damn sure gonna put his feet to the fire, saying you're gonna take the deal, or we'll charge you with everything.
Right?
No.
Don't be mad at the judge or the prosecutor. It was your son's terrible ass decisions, and that might reflect poorly on you, buddy. Like, I'm sorry, but maybe if you would have done a little bit of a better job, he wouldn't have been here.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it's not always on the parents either. I don't want it to make it like it's the parents' fault either. But like, come on, dude. It's definitely not the prosecutor's fault. It's definitely not the judge's fault. I can guarantee that. So yeah, allegedly.
Right. But in my experience, the prosecutors will come up with all kinds of, they'll stack everything against you, and then just simply say, hey, here's a deal on the table. You can take the deal. We can close this up and get this done, or we've got all this we can pile up on you. And in the end, if they take the deal, that's probably the best option anyways. Yeah. We'll see. Drunk Beaver, I see that innocent until proven guilty. The whole problem is this is all about an assault. Nothing on here is even talked about the assault. Nothing here is talked about the case. Everyone's talking about the drug test that he fouled up, the drug test that he tried to cheat and then didn't work. Hey, have a good night, Gina. Thank you for coming out. But he tried to file up a drug test, and that everything's sidetracked on that. They're never going to get to the actual charge. They're never going to get to the actual problem. And then he's got felony stuff upstairs. He's just piling on, and Judge Fleischer's damn near begging him and pleading with him. Hey, let's just try to figure this out. Let's try to stop the damage. And Dad's like, yeah, but y'all just want to be mean.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously all the defendants we see here, they're all allegedly. It's all we know nothing into their lives. We only know this little snippet, and we can just take from it what we want and what we can, and apply our own situations and our own experiences and try to make sense of it so other people don't make the same mistakes. Oh, look at you got a kitten.
Yep. I'm pulling a biggin. It works. Damn it, it works for Biggin. It's gonna work for me, except for mine doesn't want to hang around. Mine just wanted to attack and go on about her day.
Does the kitty have a name?
Hold on.
No?
Yeah, I think she does.
Did you forget it?
Hold on. I can ask my wife. What's her name? Stormy. Her name is Stormy.
Stormy.
Yep.
Very cute. Super cute.
Yep.
All right. Is there more to this video?
Yep. Just a little bit. Let's go.
What day you say?
I'm just trying to keep this stuff out of evidence, so.
And so let's say we take him in now, he gets processed today, he's in POP tomorrow.
Not talking from.
It doesn't get brought back to court tomorrow, then yes,
Okay,
we'll
part of the
stay there.
case.
Let's do Tuesday, just to be safe and have the report.
Next Tuesday.
If it's back sooner.
Oh, you mean for the report to be back? Oh, okay, but I'm talking the actual evaluation. When do you think? Maybe Wednesday? Friday.
Because it has to be processed. I don't know how long it's gonna take.
Private
to
issue.
process.
Okay, all right. Okay. I'm gonna try to have him evaluated as quick as possible. Hopefully we can have it done by Friday and the report back by Monday or Tuesday, okay? I'm gonna put him back now. So Yasha, if you'd like, we'll have you call the holdover so you can talk to Mr. Terrell now. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
Judge, I confirm whatever Mr. Terrell just said, about the fact that he needs help. He needs to use his medication. I believe that if he does start using the medication, it will help his situation. I don't think jail time or incarceration is the solution. I really think that he needs help with his medication and some sort of rehab to get out of the situation he is in right now. I am actively working on both cases, the misdemeanor and the felony. I have provided some evidence to the felony prosecutors about the situation, and I'll keep checking back with them. If I have to go every day, I will.
Okay, and I trust that you will, Yasha, but unfortunately, due to him bringing a Whizzinator into the drug testing room to try to, fool us, it's unacceptable. And I'm going to revoke his bond because of it. We're going to keep him. We'll try to have him, TRAS as quick as possible to see how we go forward.
Yes, and let's get him TRAS, and then I will look at the report and I will discuss it with him and his family. Okay.
Look, at a minimum, the TRAS will tell us which way they believe is the best course of action. I will leave it to you guys to decide whether you want to do it or not. If you don't want to do it, if you just want to, let him out and fend for himself, it's up to you guys. I will offer my services to you for free. If you want it, it's available to you. If you don't want it, then it's on you guys. Okay?
You need to take pills.
Let's not talk about everything now. Let's just see for me.
Judge, did you say
Well,
what?
hold on.
Yes,
Yes, I
sir.
want to know what
Yes, Judge.
do you want everything? Is
Yes,
it,
Judge.
why do you want all that?
So, I mean, Judge, that's,
To further charge?
I mean, I'm not gonna personally charge Judge, but I think that the state has a right to know about this if he's violating bond conditions for our purposes. I don't know what it's gonna be used for yet, but I think that the state and defense have a right to have this information, Judge.
No, I'm not, no. I know, I don't want, because I don't want to add further fuel to the fire and damage, I don't think it's fair. I don't,
How is
I
that
don't,
not, Judge? He's violating your conditions and.
and he's going in there now.
I understand, but you don't think that the state has a right to this information?
I don't know. Let me look into it. Let me, I'll get back to you on
Yes,
it.
Judge.
I'll
I
get
don't
back
want
to
to
you.
disrespect the court. I defer to your judgment.
I understand.
I believe that.
Let me talk about it and then I'll get back to
Yes,
you
Judge.
tomorrow.
Okay.
And we'll talk about it.
You file a written motion.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Judge. Yes, Judge.
Judge, do you want me to stop by tomorrow?
Yes, stop by and we'll talk about it as well. Okay?
Okay. And I will contact Mr. Terrell. Thank you.
Okay.
Page 5.
All right.
All right, here we go. Hey, Victoria, look what Emily made.
It's a Judge Fleischer mug. It's so cute.
Yeah.
If I drank coffee, I would want one.
I don't drink coffee. I've never drank coffee in my life, but I've got a stack of mugs. So see that, Victoria?
It's really cool.
It says Harris County on top, Texas on the bottom. And then on the
Cool.
other
Hey,
side. Then on the other side.
Tiff. Oh, that's cool. It says American Courts on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hey, a big Tiff. We don't ever plug other channels here. We don't ever talk about other channels. I'm just picking on you. You want to talk about Meg's much?
Yeah, Meg, she was hit by Hurricane Milton. So if you guys could go over there, give her channel some love. She does have a GoFundMe, I think, in her bio there. So if you do have a few extra dollars to throw her way, I'm sure she'd appreciate it. I think her whole area just got hit hard by the hurricane. Like, it's just so crazy tragic. So yeah, if you guys have that ability, and if you say fuck hurricane victims and want to get Linus over here to Houston, we got the GoFundMe in the chat for that too, and get over here to Texas, because that's way more important than helping hurricane victims. So yeah.
Gosh, damn, that was mean.
See, when you do it, it's fine, but when I do it, I'm mean.
You are. How about this? For every $10 you send to Meg, send Linus $10.
There you go. That's a good.
No,
good
it's seriously though. There's people that are truly out there hurting. Linus is wanting to go and have fun. There's people out there really hurting. So make sure you guys stop by and look. If nothing else, watch her videos. If she got a whole big old pile of video watches, it's going to truly help. Of course, money helps better. Just like with everything, money's always the solution to the problem. But
absolutely.
But certainly help her out. Meg's good people. I talk with her quite a bit. I hadn't talked with her since the storm, but one time, and she was very humble. She didn't even mention Milton. Milton was the one who got her. Helene was about a week before, but Milton was the one who got it started. You're asking which hurricane? Yep. And see, Linus is there saying to donate. To donate to Meg. Meg's a good people. But Big Tiff, if you can get me the GoFundMe link, we'll throw it up. I don't want our channel to ever be just they call it e-begging or something like that. I don't want it to ever be like that, but damn it, sometimes there's times where people need help, and sometimes there's times when it's good to help someone out. And so And I
Right, and I don't ever want anybody to ever give a dollar they don't have. Like this is all for fun. This is extra expenses after your fun expense is depleted, then feel free to donate to anything we're asking for causes. Like take care of you first. I don't ever want anybody to be hurting to send us money. That's stupid. That's not what
Yeah.
I'm about at all.
And
So.
just so everybody knows, we're always good on this channel to if you want to, if you've got a channel or if you're supporting another channel or something, we're always good with that here. There's YouTube is a big, big world. There's enough room for everybody.
Exactly.
And so
exactly.
we're going to jump onto a shorter one. This one was only about 5 minutes, but it's a lot more entertaining. I'm not even going to bother with the educational point of it because I think the kid was lying. So sorry, Linus, you're losing your pinned message. We got it pinned. The GoFundMe from Meg. Make sure to stop and check that out. If nothing, I think if you can't give money, you can leave a message there. And if you watch every one of her videos over the next, it's going to take you months to watch all of her videos because she's got so many of them. But
but go leave a like on every single one. Go and just give her a comment on all of her videos, like a message of love. Like that works too. That will help her channel immensely. Those free things help a lot. So if you don't have money and you have time, that's a great way to spend it.
Yeah, absolutely. And all right, we're going to jump onto another one, but this one here, I just think the kid was lying. I just, in the end, he's going to take some tough love with this one. So let's run to that one.
Let's go.
Page 5.
All right.
Kevin? He tested positive, Your Honor.
I mean, one time in there wasn't enough? Apparently not. You're still testing positive for marijuana. Where do we go from here?
What happened?
It's just tough, man.
But it wasn't me. It was, can I finish?
Secondhand smoking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
secondhand smoke.
Yeah,
You
was it-
think I
was-
believe that?
They don't want to hear it.
I understand this. I understand it.
So
The lawyer didn't even want to repeat that because he knew it was bullshit from the start. That's great.
When was the last couple times, before the last 2 days, when was the last time Mr. Cabrera tested?
See you later, Michael.
Bye, Michael.
Yep.
The last time I tested was July 30th,
It never even stopped. We took him into custody when?
He's got such a good reason for why he's doing drugs.
When did we take Cabrera in? I reinstated his bond July 10th. I let you out of jail July 10th. And you promised me that you would stop smoking July 10th. We are now in October and you still have a positive test.
Can I tell you something, sir?
don't tell them that stuff about secondhand smoking. That ain't. That's
No, he's not gonna believe it. I understand that.
I knew he was
Try
gonna
to tell
say
me it's
that.
secondhand smoke. I don't believe it.
I understand that, sir. I understand it.
Why are you continuing to test positive?
Because you know how it's to go to school, right? And then all the restrooms are all full of hot box smoke. And I already went to talk to my teachers about that. If I could like go to a specific restroom by myself, but they can't let me. So all the restrooms being hot box, and I just be like, instead like if going to another restroom, I can't go anywhere because all the restrooms like upstairs, downstairs are full of smoke, and you can't do
For
anything
the
about it.
restroom?
So every single
Yeah.
restroom in your high school smells like pot smoke. So you
So
can't go to the bathroom without now testing positive for marijuana.
Because
Really?
Parana's school, is it true that they have the problem with that school? San Marino is the most like ghetto school in Pasadena. That's just
You don't go to the bathroom.
it's right. All right, I won't go no more.
No. It's too late now.
I understand that.
Mr. Reyes, I don't understand. I mean, where do we go?
It's tough, Judge, it is. Well, when are you supposed to graduate?
Right, this year already, that's why I was planning, I'm still going to school.
October, when in
In
December?
May.
Oh,
Cause,
you still have
yeah, I still
until
got it.
next year.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. We're trying to get him into PTI, Your Honor. I'm sure it's gonna take about 30 days to do all the paperwork for PTI. He blew a
He
10.
can't even stay positive
that's
while
what
he's
I'm-
on bond. How in the hell is he gonna make a probation?
Yeah, I got it.
I'll show you this.
Your promises mean nothing.
I understand, that would just be quite sorry.
We can bring him back in 30 days and test him
Yes,
again,
sir.
Your Honor.
When is the last time you smoked weed?
Just tell him
Promise,
the
the
truth.
last time, I'm not gonna lie, it was a month ago, like a month ago, I'm not lying. That was the last time, that's what I'm telling you. You give me 2 more weeks, I'll promise I'll be clean, because it's literally getting out of my system. I'm not lying, sir. I'll give you my word on my mom, I have a baby in the way, that's what I'm trying to push forward.
Bet.
Yes, sir.
Got
I'll
2 weeks,
give you-
Mr.
I'll
Cabrera.
give you
You're
my
going to
word.
come here in exactly 14 days.
Yes, sir.
Take another test. If you test
You think you can?
again,
I'll put this negative, sir. I'll give you my word, because I have a baby on my way. You guys, my mom.
November 5th, you
Yes,
will
sir.
come right back here. You will take another test on November 5th.
Got it, sir.
And if you test positive again,
You think he's gonna test, it's still gonna be in his system in 2 weeks?
Oh, mom, can I tell you something?
he told me just now, I asked him to be,
It's been a month ago, so it's gonna get out, because it's getting
Okay,
out of my
all
system.
right,
Yeah.
okay.
'Cause the
2
guy
weeks
showed
will
me
be
the thing.
45 days?
The negative line was starting to show, but he said that
I
it was still
like this
positive
lawyer.
for him, so that's fine.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
He's so
Give me my word.
Yeah.
we'll do.
see what your word is. If you test negative, I will send you on your way. If you test positive, we'll see.
Understand, I appreciate it.
2 weeks it is.
Thanks, Judge.
Hey, George.
Thanks a lot.
All right. So
That kid was crazy. I love that. It was the bathrooms in my high school are making me get high from secondhand smoke, and I can't go to the bathroom anywhere else. Like that was a new one for me. That was pretty good. That was pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Now in reality, I'm always paranoid about that. I don't care if someone smokes cigarettes or smokes weed or smokes crack. I don't care. That's not my concern in life. But I don't want to be anywhere near it, and I'm constantly terrified that I'm going to get secondhand smoke, because you can't go to the gas station without someone's doing that, and you can't, it's just everywhere now. And I'm like,
Yeah, definitely.
I can't begin to say how mad I'd be if I failed a damn drug test. Never once taken drugs.
So I grew up with parents that were very active weed smokers, like every single night, and they did not hide it from me. It was always in plain view all the time. So when I went for my first drug test for my first job when I was like 17, the first job that drug tested me, at least when I was like 17, I was so nervous that I was going to test dirty because of my parents. And I was like, if I test dirty because of you motherfuckers, I'm going to be so mad at you. And of course it was fine and it was clean, because it doesn't really work that way. But I was so convinced and so terrified that I was going to be, because I was very anti-drug, anti-weed when I was a teenager. I hated it. And so I was just like, I knew I would be clean. I've never touched drugs in my life. So if I test dirty because of you guys, I'm going to be furious. But I never did.
Oh, absolutely. Look, and Victoria, as bad as walking by someone that smokes cigarettes is, it's better than smelling somebody.
Oh God, I hate the smell of cigarettes. My parents were smokers too, and they smoked
Yeah.
in the house my whole life. Oh,
Yeah, and I've never smoked cigarettes, and so like I can come home and my wife's like, "Hey, you were around someone who smoked today?" It just somehow it just migrates to you. But
yeah, it sticks to you, and when you're in it, you don't smell it. Like when I was a kid, people would complain about how bad I smelled because I smelled like cigarettes, and I was like, I don't smell it. But now, as an adult, like when my parents moved in here and they moved in all of their belongings, the whole house for a while smelled bad because everything had to air out. Luckily, we didn't have to move that much stuff in, but oh yeah, it was awful.
yeah,
Super awful.
check out
And anytime I would visit my parents, I would have to when I left their house, I would have to go home and immediately shower because my hair would smell like it.
Yeah, Vicky's talking about BO's worse than the summer.
Yeah.
Kim throw up one, says, I don't like secondhand nicotine either. Give me the whole carton.
Right.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. And she says it gets in her hair from the inside out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I can't stand it. I can't stand the smoke.
we're gonna get out of here. We're
Sounds
gonna,
good.
yeah, and the weed thing is, if you don't smoke weed, that's all you smell. And the people that do smoke weed, every time they get pulled over, they're like, "Oh, you don't really smell it." Like,
Yeah. This is the first thing you smell.
we can be driving down the interstate, and all of a sudden you just smell it, and you're like, "Gosh, damn!" It's just, and maybe it's getting stronger, or it's just getting more, around over the years. But it's where it's getting more and more of, everywhere you go.
Prevalent. Yeah. And with the vapes, it's everywhere. People are doing it everywhere. So yeah, you can smell it all the time
Now, are they putting? I'm assuming they're putting weed in vapes, and if they are, how are they doing it?
So they extract the THC oil and they put it in the little cartridges that you can refill into vapes. Now in Florida, where you're at, that's a felony. Whereas if you have just the flower weed, it's just a regular misdemeanor. But if you're caught with a THC vape, it's a felony in Florida.
Okay. Well, almost
weird?
everything's a felony in Florida, so.
Yeah.
So
Super weird. I don't know why it is, but I thought that was interesting. That why is it a felony if it's a vape? If it's the oil in a vape like that?
I know they started making them. I think for a while you could get vape at 18, and then they went to 21 on vapes.
Yeah, all
and I think they did something against anything flavored vapes.
Yeah, something like that.
So here's the link one more time for Meg's Crime Watch. If you just type in Meg's Crime Watch, it's going to show up with everything. There's going to be all kinds of stuff there. She does a lot better job than me. I have such a horrible memory. I'm going to see someone tomorrow and assume it was some guy that was in court today, where Meg's able to go back and actually do the research on it. And she's able to put it all together. She connects dots that I wouldn't even consider there. To me, everyone's appearance in court is their first appearance. I don't, follow up is not a specialty of mine, but she does a damn good job of it. And so
she does a fantastic job.
And I found a channel. There was a channel that was having some videos, and you can tell the fonts, you can tell the stuff, you can tell, what's hers. And their logo was so badly placed over her logo. It was just embarrassing. And so
yeah, I know lots of people have stolen her content before because she's that good. It's not cool.
No, and Eric, you don't have to lecture about it. We get it. We get it. I don't like marijuana. I'm against it completely, but I think we've got a big problem in our country with the war on drugs and just our general approach to things. I think we're still just infants when it comes to getting a grasp on things.
Good night, Nan.
Good night, Nan. Well, hey.
Yeah, we're gonna go home. We're all gonna go to bed now.
Yeah. So. If Nan's going to bed, we're all going to bed. So everybody, y'all have a good night, and we'll see y'all tomorrow night. Same time, same place, all that other stuff. Make sure to go and donate to everybody.